Welcome to the Sporty Sibling Podcast,
where we score touchdowns and make baskets.
To Trier. Trier drives down and throws it down. Alonzo Trier.
Today they're gonna match off and talk about
Welcome back to the latest episode of the Sporty Sibling Podcast, where we dive into some of the biggest headlines in sports. This week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a plethora of things, but specifically, we're going to talk about my top 10 women in the World Cup in New Zealand. Yes, that was hard. Just to pick 10 was damn near impossible. But I somehow did it, and yet I still feel like I could have done better. Still. But we'll discuss it. Then switching sports to the NFL, we're going to compare the AFC and the NFC offenses, see who is better in specific positions. So from quarterback to running back to wide receiver, so on and so forth. And then, of course, see who overall has the best offensive area. We will also talk about some storylines for the second half of the MLB season. And of course, we're going to finish with the question, will Tyreek Hill hit 2,000 yards this year? He talked about it on his podcast. We're going to talk about it. Will he do it? We'll just have to wait and see. But get ready to unleash your sports passion with the Sporty Sibling Podcast. Now, Panda, take us to our first topic. Thank you, Panda. And, of course, to get started with our first topic, with the World Cup here very soon, we see these great women playing, and significantly, how can you not notice them? They're better than the men. In the U.S. case, the women's are a dynasty, okay? Which we don't talk about enough. But have you seen the promo for the French women? No, go YouTube it right now. Trust me. Go look at the YouTube video for the French soccer team for women's and see how they do it. I mean, it was just, mwah. It was goddamn near amazing. I was talking about it in TikTok and things like that. But god dang, was it good. It was good. But with all this amazing women, I got thinking and reading from everywhere, well, why don't I rank them? I could rank the top 100, top 50, 75, 25. But then I said, you know what? I'm too good at this. I know my stuff. So I'm going to pick my top 10 women that will be battling in New Zealand for the World Cup title. And yet, now that I think about everything, I question some of them. But I also like them. But you let me know what you think. So let us get started. At number 10, and ahead of time, before I even get started, I do apologize for everybody because I will be butchering some names. Okay? Fair enough. I try to learn, and I fail. So number 10, I have Kasavari Asali from Sweden. Her club is AC Milan, and she's a midfielder striker position. So, Aslani, she's a veteran leader with Sweden. This is now going to be her third appearance in the World Cup. And she's coming into this World Cup really just wanting to win, especially after that disappointing silver medal position in the 2021 Olympics. So, you question, well, why is she so determined? Well, she's skilled. The skilled midfielder has been very vocal about her ambition to secure a title for Sweden. And it's been a long time coming. Like, she said, hey, I am not doing anything till I have the title. Aslani has evolved into a prominent figure on the field for the Swedish and thrives in her more mature role under the guidance of manager Peter Berg Hansen. Okay, so that's exactly why she's been so vocal. Because of their new manager, she's been able to grow as a player, and I think that's very important. And while the spotlight may shine on other attackers like Frodilia Rolfo, Steiner Blackstones, and Madeline Gingoni, Sally herself has made herself a crucial player for the Swedish by moving the ball in favorable positions for the attackers, other attackers, and herself, while excelling at taking on opponents one-on-one and creating opportunities for her teammates. So, overall, I think she deserves a number 10. That was an easy one for me. At number 9, we have Debina. So, countries Brazil, Kansas City Current is her club, and she's a center midfielder, playmaking really where she goes. So, Debina possesses remarkable versatility as an attacker, okay? Capable of fulfilling multiple roles on the field. So, she's a multi-tool, really. She excels as a creative playmaker, delivering incisive through the balls to unlock defenses and create scoring opportunities for her teammates. Again, multi-tool. Additionally, she displays clinical finishing and makes well-timed runs into space to score goals. What I like more about Debina and what really sets her apart is that she's so unpredictable and fearless that it's like she's not even scared about what's going on or doesn't even know her own next move. She just does it. No, she's not afraid to attempt audacious moves and take risks, which honestly I freaking love. Hence why she's on my list. No, her style is undeniably just fun, but it is brilliant in its own right. If Brazil is to success in this World Cup, honestly, Debina will undoubtedly be the driving force in this accomplishment. But it's not just her. She needs help. At number 8, I have Yui Hesawa out of Japan. Club is Manchester City. She's a central attacking midfielder. So, Yui is the second most experienced player for the Japanese squad after captain Saki Komagi. Okay? But she still will be a vital part of the Japan's midfield attack. We know how good they can be, okay? As an attacking player, Hasanga's role is as a creative number 10, involves orchestrating plays and unlocking defenses with her incisive passes. And that's going to be very important for the World Cup. In addition on her infield contribution, Hasaga will be expected to assume leadership responsibilities and supporting the younger players experiencing their first tournament. Because let's not forget, this is a very young squad with a lot of players being in the first tournament. Okay? Now, with the potential to be one of the most captivating players on the team that has the potential for excitement and optimizing her performance, Hechan should be undoubtedly on everyone's radar when watching the World Cup. With Japan there. But that does not mean that it's going to be easy for her. Now, number 7. Frodilia Rolf, Sweden, Barcelona, and she's a left wing. So, Rolfo showcases her strength, her speed, and direct approach in Barcelona. Okay? So, they're used to that. Now, she initially was a left winger. The Sweden international has successfully transitioned onto a left back role, which is very much the opposite of what she's accustomed. But while in Barcelona, the style of play often keeps them in the opposition's half for extended periods, which is good. That's what you want. Rodolfo's new position demands increased attention to defensive responsibilities, which she has taken to the country's team. Nevertheless, her role has mostly stayed the same as she plays a significant part in their attacking endeavors. But with the idea of her defense becoming better, it has improved her attacking, in my opinion. As Sweden prepares for their summer tournament, Rolfo will undoubtedly be one of the critical components driving their offensive power. Let me rephrase that. It's actually driving their defensive power. After watching some of her stuff, I think she's going to be ahead of the defense and just adding on to the offense through the defense. At number 8, I have Alexandra Popp out of Germany. VfL Wolfsburg is her club, and she's a striker. Now, with an impressive array of accomplishments, Alexandra Popp is a decorated athlete alone, amassing a remarkable collection of trophies, again, just on her own. But since she claimed 7 Frauen Bundesliga titles, achieved a Champions League victory, and reached the Euro finals and clinched an Olympic gold medal, what's really left to do? Oh, mind you, and she was a team captain. Well, all that's left is a World Cup at this point. Now, that's a lot of hate coming, and following a remarkable season that saw her secure the German domestic double and guide Wolfsburg, her club team, to the Champions League final, Popp's experience will be invaluable to Germany's young squad. Again, like Japan, a lot of players coming in with very much little to no experience in the World Cup. Now, her versatility in the midfield is very important because Popp is fearless, has a fearless nature and readiness to sacrifice her body to make her a formidable force on the field, and often scoring headers and fearless engaging in challenges. She needs to be careful with this, but even then, her fearlessness is what puts her on my list at number 6. At number 5, I have Alexia Putellas. Out of Spain, her club is Barcelona. She's a central playmaking midfielder. So, as the recipient of back-to-back Ballon d'Or awards, which is the best player in both for women and men, Alexia Putellas enters the World Cup with uncertainty surrounding her potential impact on the tournament. Last summer, she suffered an ACL injury, causing her to miss Spain's European Championship campaign and a significant portion of her club team season as well, with Barcelona's. Putellas returned towards the end of the season, featuring in the final 6 matches and notably scoring in her first start for Spain in a year against Panama, thus changes things. However, though, her inability to complete a full 90-minute game raises questions about her readiness to perform at the highest level. Now, why you're thinking to me, well, why'd you put her at number 5 then? And here's why. If she's fully prepared, Spain will significantly benefit from her exceptional goal-scoring prowess, playmaking ability, and remarkable leadership qualities, who are all considered to be world-class talents. If she's not ready, Spain doesn't stand a chance in the World Cup. But because of her abilities, she's at number 5. At number 4, of course I have to put this lady. She's one of the best talented women in the World Cup, and it's Alex Morgan out of the USA. Her club team is San Diego Wave FC, and she's a striker. So, for those that don't know, she's known as Baby Horse due to her energetic and dynamic style of play. Okay? And it's true. I firmly believe it. Alex Morgan continues to be an essential asset for the U.S. women's national team as she gears up for her 4th Women's World Cup appearance. That's a lot. Despite her extensive experience, though, Morgan maintains her agility and sharp goal-scoring instinct, evident from her impressive record of 15 goals in 17 games, topping the NWSL scoring chart last season. Her impact is such that talented players like Sophia Smith, who I'll be talking about soon, Trinity Rodman, and Lynn Williams often make way for her central role by shifting to the flanks. With Morgan's influential presence, the U.S. team holds a formidable chance of securing their 3rd consecutive World Cup title, with their striker poised to play a pivotal role on their pursuit to success, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! At number 3, I have Etana Bonmate out of Spain. Bonmate out of Spain. Club team is Barcelona, and she's a central midfielder. So, how can I put it this way? Spain has an injured Alexia Putellas, okay? When she was injured, let me rephrase that. Because Alexia Putellas was injured, Anita Bonmati emerged as a standout performer for Barcelona and for the national team. Okay, she left a mark with their victories in the Champions League campaign, plus with their club team. For their nation's team. Her remarkable contribution on the field earned her esteemed recognition as UEFA's best player in the tournament. Bonmati's, versatility as a midfielder allows her to thrive in advanced positions where she becomes a potent force by adding goals and assists to her repertoire. And that's truly the reason why they didn't miss Putellas, but they do want Putellas back. Her playing style epitomizes the qualities often associated with triumphant Barcelona and Spain teams, showcasing exceptional technique, exquisite ball control, and a knack for maneuvering skillfully in tight spaces. Now, I've yet to feel comfortable with Putellas and Bonmati playing together, but I'm excited to see it in a much more controlled situation. Number 2, I have Sophia Smith out of USA. Club is Portland Thorn, and she's a left wing / striker. So, the young lady, Sophia Smith, is as the talented young forward as anyone could ask for. She spearheaded a notable transformation within the U.S. women's team and is expected to be the primary goal scorer for this year's squad. Although Alex Morgan is probably going to be the one to open up a lot of her positions. While primarily a striker for her club, she often operates as a winger for the national team. So she's a little bit of both, and I love that. Smith's unwavering confidence and fearlessness makes her a formidable attacking threat, evident in the ruthless finish leading to the World Cup. And it was ruthless, ladies and gentlemen. Currently leading the Golden Boot race in NWSL with an impressive tally of 10 goals in 13 games, Smith is ready to shoulder a graded goal scoring responsibilities in the World Cup this year. But despite the pressure, her recent form demonstrates her ability to handle a task adaptably. So, she can do it. I'm not even worried about that. And whenever Smith has possession, it promises to be an enthralling escapade. And I'm so excited to see her next to Alex Morgan. Truly in the World Cup, it's going to be different. We've watched them play in the qualifiers to get to where they need to go, but this is going to be different. At number 1, of course, I had to have this lady, and it was hard because I wanted to put Sophia Smith at number 1, but Sam Kerr out of Australia, club team is Chelsea, and she's a striker. She's just the best. I'm so impressed with this woman. Sam Kerr has solidified her reputation as a formidable player in high-pressure situations, thriving on the biggest stages without a question. Her exceptional display in the FA Cup finals and pivotal matches have earned her legendary status among Chelsea supporters. And as lover of the game, I'm just baffled and impressed by every single second this woman plays. As the 2023 World Cup takes place on her home turf in Australia, it presents an ideal opportunity for her to captivate her nation with awe-inspiring performances. Okay? She has home field advantage. Fans, critics, and neutrals alike are going to flock at the privilege to witness her lethal goal-scoring prowess and one and only tactical understanding of leadership, assisting, and attacking the lineups. Well, the opponent attacking lineups. And honestly, with the unwavering support of a passionate home crowd, this is Kerr's moment to shine. And anyone and everyone should relish at the spectacle she would undoubtedly deliver in this year's World Cup. Hence why she's my number one player in this year's World Cup. But even though I only talked about these 10 women, New Zealand will host many powerful, unique, breathtaking, amazing, single-handedly women's soccer players, that will blow our minds. It's just going to go. But we still have other things to talk about. So, Panda, please take us to our next topic. Thank you so much, Panda. So, during this relatively quiet period in the NFL, it's customary to assess teams and players through various lists and comparisons. I mean, we see it all the time. I've done it a few times myself. So, in this spirit, we will examine the AFC and NFC offensive sides of the ball and then analyzing each conference potential groups to determine which holds the advantage and which one is better. So starting off with the quarterback. So regarding the quarterback position, the AFC showcases an impressive array of talent, including renowned players like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. Additionally, though, the conference features established names such as Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Deshaun Watson, who have consistently performed at a high level. It's the truth. In contrast, the NFC has more limited pools sent out quarterbacks such as Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott being some of the notable figures, and they're in the same division. Analyzing performance metrics, AFC quarterbacks have displayed a superior efficiency, accuracy, and the ability to create explosive plays. Although NFC quarterbacks have experienced better luck in avoiding interceptions. Alright? So, the AFC does dominate in the passing game, while the NFC holds an advantage in rushing statistics. So, overall, the AFC emerges as the conference with a distinct edge regarding the quarterback talent and performance. So, the advantage goes to the AFC. Running back. So, determining a strong conference regarding running back is actually quite complex, and I didn't realize how complex it is, considering the multiple factors influencing their production beyond individual talent, such as blocking effectiveness, scheme compatibility, and the involvement of quarterbacks in passing to the backs all play significant roles. However, when analyzing specific areas where running backs have more control, such as breaking the tackles, yards gained after contact and catch, and generating big plays, well, the AFC backs perform better based on last year's statistics. Currently, the AFC boasts a deeper pool of high-quality running backs, including notable names like Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, and Derrick Henry, one of which broke 2,000 yards, and Austin Eckler was a fantasy football goldmine, compared to the NFC's collection featuring talents such as Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Alvin Kamara, who, might remind you, is subject to suspension here at the beginning of the season. Nevertheless, unforeseen circumstances and individual performances can alter the running back landscape with each conference. Even knowing that, I still have to give the advantage to the AFC. Wide receivers. When assessing wide receiver groups in the AFC versus the NFC, the AFC stands out with impressive collection of individual talents like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. On the other hand, though, the NFC boasts more balanced distribution of talent across its teams, featuring notable receivers such as CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, and DJ Moore, among others. Despite the AFC often having superior quarterbacks and quarterback play, the NFC receivers still outperform their AFC counterparts in various metrics, including targets, catch rate, yards per route run, yards per yards after the catch, success rate, and drop passes during last year's season. With abundant skillful receivers, the NFC is expected to maintain its excellence in this position. So, the NFC take the advantage at wide receiver. At tight end, look, let's be serious. During the previous season, the AFC tight ends showcased a notable performance advantage over the NFC counterparts. It was obvious. They received more targets and achieved higher average in yards per reception per route and after the catch than those in the NFC. Now, that could be attributed to a lot of this tight ends being the main target in their offense. AFC tight ends also presented a more significant downfield threat, consistently creating explosive plays and first down. Again, that's probably because they are basically the main point of the offense, such as Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews for their respective teams. While in the NFC, although we boast talents like George Kittle, TJ Hockenson, Dallas Goedert, and Kyle Pitts, they are not the main focus of their offenses like Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews are. The AFC possesses a deeper pool of tight ends also, which include David Njoku, Pat Fairmont, Evan Ingram, Dawson Knox, Hunter Henry, and others, which helps boost these numbers. So, really, if you're looking at pass-catching tight ends in the league, and those that have greater overall depth in the position, we have to go with the AFC simply because of those factors. So, offensive tackle. The NFC demonstrates a remarkable advantage in the offensive tackle position, comparable to the AFC's advantage at quarterback. That's how good our tackles are. Pro Football Focus top-rated tackles from the previous season are primarily in the NFC, with the conference dominating the top rankings. The NFC outperformed its term of pass blocking efficiency and run blocking grades, with most top performers in both categories hailing from the NFC. This advantage is noteworty considering the absence of the Dallas Cowboys' top All-Pro future Hall of Famer left tackle Tyron Smith, who's he's highly graded and highly regarded as a left tackle. So mind you, we're missing him and we're still the best. The NFC further benefits from the emergence of promising players and possesses exceptional depth and talent such as Jordan Mailata, Penei Sewell, Ryan Ramczyk, Tristan Wirth, Terrence Steele, Taylor Decker, Brian O'Neill, and Taylor Martin. On the other hand, although the AFC boasts strong talent such as Larry Thompson, Rashad Slater, and Turner Armstead, the conference faces more uncertainty on both ends of the offensive line compared to the NFC. Advantage, NFC. Inside offensive linemen. So, although the NFC showcases exceptional talent in the interior offensive lineman position, featuring notable players like Zach Martin, Jason Kelce, Chris Lindstrom, Landon Dickerson, Jonah Jackson, Garrett Bradbury, and Tevin Jenkins, the AFC actually exhibits a greater depth of talent in this position. Some of those notable talents are Cole Strange, David Andrews, Michael Onwenu, Laken Tomlinson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Joe Benito, Wyatt Teller, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphreys, Trey Smith, and more. Additionally, the AFC's depth extends to players like Connor Williams, James Daniels, Shaq Mason, Ben Powers, Corey Lindsey, Mitch Morse, Kevin Zittler, Tyler Lunderbrum, Ten Carras, Alex Capa, and numerous others. Based on this, the advantage goes to the AFC. In the long run, though, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the offense in the NFL, based on everything, the AFC takes the cake here. They take the cake with the overall better quarterback play, more weapons, and offensive line depth that will keep the offense going and moving. But don't get it twisted. With one proper move, the NFC could truly take this, in the long run. Let's remember that the AFC, outside of quarterback play, truly holds more of the depth than actual talent in their respective conference over the NFC. To me, the NFC has more talent, spread out talent, but less depth, while the AFC has more depth, but not as much spread out talent. And I think at the end of the day, if you're truly comparing both, the final nail in the coffin has to be the quarterback play that's about as bestly spread out as you can get it throughout both conferences. And unfortunately, in this case, the AFC takes it. So, AFC take it. Let's, Panda, take us to our next topic. Thank you, Panda. With the second half of the MLB season underway, let us take a look at a few second half stories that we must watch, ladies and gentlemen. We have to watch. We must. But let us get started. So, story number one. Will the Angels trade away the best player in the MLB in Shohei Ohtani? Okay? The Angels have lost 13 of the last 17 games going into the All-Star game. If they decide to make Ohtani available at the trade deadline, it would undoubtedly spark an intense bidding war between some of the contenders that just need one player to get them over the hump and those that are already there and they could just use extra to solidify their position. The question here is, would Ohtani would be valued, what's his value basically? Okay, he has exceptional pitching and hitting ability, so it's like, his presence alone can shift the balance of power within a division race or a postseason series. Evaluating his talent value becomes quite challenging, as finding a consensus among teams would likely prove difficult to trade for. Due to that fact, I'm not sure the Angels will, but it's something that it's quite being considered, and they're going to ask for a lot and then some. But speaking of Ohtani, well, he hit 60 plus home runs this season? Well, he does lead the MLB with 32 home runs and is on pace to go over 60. But can he do it? Duh. Of course he's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. During a 10-game span, he hit 8 home runs. 8 home runs in a 10-game span. As long as he keeps doing that, he can not only hit 60 this year, but he can crush that number. I mean, it's almost undoubtedly that he's going to do it. I have no problem. And adding to the fact that he may get traded, and if he goes to a contender, forget about it. Forget about it. When will Judge return, and what is happening with the slumping Yankees? Now, I will add this, never been a Yankees fan, so this makes me happy how much they're hurting. But I also kind of want Judge to return to not get hurt so that we can actually see, some good Yankee baseball. So, the Yankees entered the All-Star break with a record of 49-42, sitting just one game behind the third wildcard spot and leading a competitive AL East. Really, no room for error here. However, the team has struggled since Judge's injury on June 3rd, winning only 14 of the 31 games and experiencing a decline in their offensive output. Okay? It's plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. They need Judge back. What makes it worse is that there is an uncertainty surrounding Judge's returns because of his worsened injury, which continues to cause him pain and really leaves the timeline unclear. In addition to the injury setback, the team grapples with underperforming veterans and unresolved issues in the left field position. The recent firing of their hitting coach indicates that a potential need for a significant change is underway. But if the Yankees fail to secure a postseason berth, it may come faster than we expect. Now, have you guys seen the Reds and this kid, Eli De La Cruz, the Wonder Kid? Yeah, that's a story we need to keep an eye on. Because since De La Cruz joined the Reds on June 6th, the team has been on a remarkable freaking run, boasting the second best record in baseball at 23-8 and claiming the top spot in the AL Central. De La Cruz has been so outstanding in his performance, displaying a .325 batting average, a .363 on-base percentage, and a .524 slugging percentage, along with 4 home runs and an impressive 16 stolen bases. And that's just in 30 games, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. 30. Yeah, what did you do in 30 games? Nothing. However, we can't give De La Cruz all the credit, okay? Rookie Matt McClain has had an excellent performance with a .300, .366, and .52 percentages. Slashing lines, and Spencer Steer has also contributed with a .277, .367, and .477 line, and 14 home runs. So yes, De La Cruz has been playing freaking amazing, but he's elevating the play with everybody else. Plus, Alex Diaz and rookie pitcher Andrew Abbott both have amazing and significant impact on the Reds' performance. So, as the Reds leads their division, the team's ability to maintain their position and the potential trade deadline moves by the front office will be something that we must monitor. If they can continue their streak and add what they need, the Reds are dangerous. But can they do that? That's the question here. Separating the contenders from the non-contenders, non-believers, whatever you want to say. So, based on Fangraphs and Sportslines statistics, 15 teams have a 40% chance of making the postseason. Unfortunately, though, only 12 can make it. And as much as we want all 15, that's not possible. Now, the question is, which 12 are going to make it? Well, we know that some have overperformed and some have underperformed. Like the Yankees have underperformed, but the Reds have overperformed. So the question is, who is the real contender? Who's separating themselves as a true contender? And there's numerous teams that have uncertain potential as we reach the season's halfway point and now coming into the second half, such as the Marlins led by Arias or the D-backs under Carroll. I mean, are they really as good as they are? And are the Yankees struggling without Judge are as bad as they really are? Is it just they're just missing Judge? Surprisingly, though, despite being in last place, the Red Sox are still within reach of a playoff spot. So are they sucking or are they good or what the heck is going on there? Other teams like the Cubs have the potential to make a strong surge in the upcoming weeks. Notably, the AL Central lacks a team with a winning record. So there's really with many teams and many divisions falling into just the okay category. Really, the second half of the season becomes pivotal for these teams to prove their worth as contenders rather than be ostracized and made a joke of. Next, we have the trade deadline. So, as we near the trade deadline on August 1st, this season's market may not be as active as initially anticipated. Based on what I'm reading everywhere, it doesn't seem like it's going to be very much active. Simply because the limited number of teams entirely out of contention is not there. Means fewer sellers, and those willing to sell lack the significant assets to offer. In other words, those that are done, like they're not gonna make the postseason, they don't have anything to sell. And those that are contenders don't want their stuff. However, despite these factors, there are still a demand for trades, and we could witness more activity than expected as teams get creative in addressing their needs. That's a question, creativity. We may see an increase in significant league player-for-player trades, adding excitement to the deadline, and I like that. While some top candidates are already identified, such as Ohtani, there is also the likelihood of unexpected names emerging as potential trade targets, especially if players like Ohtani become available. Potentially, this could cause a shakeup in the market. But we'll see, and it's something the second half we have to look at. And lastly, the Mets and Padres disappointing season. I mean, what has happened that first part of the season? Can they rebound? So the Mets and the Padres have been the epitome and the definition of a letdown this season. I was so gung-ho for them at the beginning, and they broke my heart once again. They've fallen short of the expectations with their disappointing records and substantial gaps in the playoff race. Plain and simple. Despite having talented rosters and making significant investments, both teams still suck. Both forward these teams will be determined by their performance in the upcoming weeks as the trade deadline approaches. A resurgence in form could prompt them to become buyers, while ongoing struggles may lead to the consideration of selling assets. So, we don't know what the heck they're going to do. But however, both teams do face a challenging task in their quest to postseason contention, requiring an extraordinary second half performance to even consider them making that point. Overall, though, ladies and gentlemen, there are just too many stories to look forward to in the second half of the baseball season, and I'm so excited to look and see every single one of them just to see what happens. It's going to be fun. Thank you, Panda. On his podcast, Tyreek Hill stated that he will break 2,000 yards next year. Okay? These are his exact words, ladies and gentlemen. I will break 2,000 yards next year, bro. 2,000 yards was on my bucket list to get before I leave this league. 2,000 yards and another Super Bowl. We're getting that. Believe that. So the question is, will he do that? Let's talk about it. So, some of you can say, well, why does he think he can do that? Well, his confidence truly stems from his growing chemistry with Tua Tagovailoa, which has developed here in the last year or so. And the guidance of McDaniel put together has made them a formidable offensive duo in the AFC. Okay? They're both contributing to the team's potent attack. Hill has acknowledged that the importance of deepening his understanding of the playbook and aligning with Tagovailoa's preferences on the field will be one of the main reasons why he can get there and why he feels so comfortable he will get there. With that solid foundation in place, Hill's envisions an even more impressive season ahead this year. Hill's trust in Tua, who improved his performance considerably last year, even though he was hurt, he was still a significant factor in Hill's performance. And like I said, despite missing several games due to injuries, Tua displayed promising skills, throwing 25 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Hill has consistently praised his quarterback, considering him the most accurate passer in the league, considering that he's played with Patrick Mahomes, a two-time MVP. With Tua leading the offense and under McDaniel's guidance, Hill firmly believes he has the necessary support to achieve 2,000 yards by the end of the NFL season. Now, his aspirations to break the record this year become a little more stretched, but he is confident in his talent and in the talented individuals surrounding him that he believes he can do it. From Tua Tagovailoa, head coach McDaniels, and position coach Wes Welker, there's no telling how confident this guy can get and how really pressed he is to get this 2,000 yards. Now, he sees the current season as a primary opportunity to accomplish remarkable feats and is determined to make his mark with this 2,000 yards. I'm not sure if it will actually happen, but it is quite possible. He does have the right people around him. The question is, will he do it? We're just going to have to wait and see. So, start putting your bets on that one. Panda, take us to our next thing. Thank you for that, Panda. And as you see, that is all the time we have for today. Today, we discussed many things, like the top 10 women at the World Cup. Please, let me know what you think down in the comments, who I missed, who I should have added, who should have been different. I mean, they're all great women. I think you can pick a million great soccer players to be at this World Cup and be one of a kind. Okay? It's the truth. We also gave props to the AFC for having the better offense, but more because, like I said, because of the quarterbacks and tight ends than anything else. If they didn't have that, I don't know if they'll actually be as good as they are. I'm also excited to see what unfolds in the second half of the MLB season and who truly deserves to be called a contender. Okay? We have to see this. And of course, we have to talk about what the Angels will freaking do with Ohtani. Are they going to trade him? Are they going to keep him? What the hell? Please, tell us. Oh, and of course, is he going to break 60? I mean, he's on pace. We'll see. We also wondered and pondered the question, will Tyreek Hill hit 2K this season? Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll happen, but it's plausible. It's not impossible to say that he could. But again, I don't know if it will actually happen. As always, guys, please follow us on all social media, from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook. And of course, you can listen to the show anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for more exciting sports news and updates. Until then, keep playing hard, stay safe out there. Bye-bye.